Yeah.
Like it's 0 for 2 or whatever, 3 on third down, just not staying on.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. This is a team sport, team game, and the bottom line is we want to win. And we can help in a lot of ways. In the fourth quarter, like you said, we were over 3 on third downs, and I think that's something that yesterday when we met with the offense, it was okay. What can we do better to help us achieve our goal as a team, and that's win the football game. And we've got to make sure that when we get those opportunities in the fourth quarter. Because we understand what's ahead of us. We're going to play some really good defenses the last month of the season, and there's going to be some challenges out there, and so we work together as a team, and that's what I know coaches push with our guys, and we've got to make sure we look at everything we do. You look at the first drive out of the third quarter, we went 3 and out. We were lucky they got us a turnover and got the ball back, and then we were able to possess the ball for a while. But they got some stops early, and we were able to go score, so that was a good thing. But really, I think that's the key. Complementary football. We always talk about doing that, and at times we've done it, and times seems like lately we haven't. So we're still trying. I think this is a journey every week. You're trying to play a perfect game. That's what you want, and it's one of those kind of like golf. I love playing golf. Like, it's hard, right? It's a hard game, and but you're always looking for that perfect round. And you think every time you might shoot 90 one day, and you think I'm gonna go out and shoot 72 the next day. You got to have that feeling. Then you go back and you look and you see why I didn't. And it's because I wasn't in the fairway off the tee box, or had too many putts or whatever. Same thing with offense. I think we got to figure out ways to help there when we get in end game situations and do a better job, and don't try to kick field goals. Try to get touchdowns. And that's what we're trying to do.
So talk about the third downs. Was there anything in particular, going back and looking at the film, that like stuck out about those?
Nothing really. I mean, they didn't. It's not like they did anything different. I think I probably put us in a bad position one time. I wanted to run the ball on third down some this week, and they hit us with a pressure into the side we were running to. So hats off to them. They made a good call, and we could have saved it. It's not like we didn't, but it was a pressure look that's tough for that run. So as a play caller, you're always looking back and say, I wish I'd have done this a little more or this a little better. I mean, that's what the life we live, and that's what it's about. And that's the game we're coaching. So there's always things looking back, but it wasn't necessarily something they did that really did anything different they'd been doing. It's just for us, just executing.
On the fourth down when Noah missed the field goal, I think it was 4th and 7 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You guys were up 42-39, I think, at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any thought given the way the defense was playing, how much success Georgia Tech was having, that maybe going for it, even though it was 4th and 7?
I think if we'd have got more yards than we did, if I remember right, Drake scrambled, I think, and didn't get much or maybe nothing, 2 yards. So I think, we're pretty aggressive on fourth down. So I think if we'd have, maybe got it to 4th and 3 or 4th and 4, we probably would have for sure. It was a quick game throw. We were trying to get the ball out of his hand, and they did a good job covering us, and he took off and tried to make a play. But I think there would have been definitely a conversation for that if we'd have got a little closer. And a lot of times, when we're in those situations, coach is really good about telling me way in advance, hey, 4-down territory. And what that usually means is, as long as we don't lose yards or we don't have a negative play, we got 2 downs to do it. And but I think when that play resulted the way it did, it just made more sense to try to kick the field goal.
Chip, what does your lineup look like, at least entering the week here at receiver for practice? Because it sounds like Nate, banged up, and obviously Tez, he got hurt. Like, I mean, are you have to dig deeper into the depth chart?
We have some depth in that room. That's a good thing. We've said that most of the year, and I know some of those guys are younger and hadn't played as much. And we'll see how by the end of the week they all recover and so forth. But we're very confident in the guys we have in that room. I think Doc, looking what he did the other night, really stepped up. What a confidence builder for him in a big situation with a kickoff return, then a big catch down the middle. And still you get Gavin, you still got him that's getting back, and still JJ. I mean, so we have some bodies. We use our tight ends in a lot of unique ways too. So I think we're good. We want those guys back for sure, okay, because they're good players. But at the same time, we have to have the next man up mentality, and I think our guys are buying into that.
Yeah, Chip, talking about Doc, I mean, obviously injuries are never a good thing, but with Kobe and Nate missing time, that's really opened the door for Doc to come in. He's made a couple good catches in the last couple games. Has that been like a confidence boost that you think he's needed? Max said you gave him contact and he started catching the ball.
Yeah. I think definitely when you can see it helps. You know, I told him after the game how proud I was of him. I said, that's a really confident builder for you. Use this to build on. And I think sometimes in a player's career, they go through something or something happens that really maybe gives them a shot in the arm, right? And gives them that confidence. We all have sometimes that self-doubt in whatever profession you're in, I'm sure. And so I think, you know, him in college football is no different. And hopefully he'll build on that. He's very talented. You can see him run. He can and really get open and do some things. He's really good, change of direction, and got good long speed as well. So I think for him, hopefully that's just a building block for him to, you know, get better and improve.
Chip, another good game for Amari, and third straight over 100 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you coached some NFL backs and stuff in this and throughout your time. I mean, looking at that one touchdown run where he breaks the tackle for the
Yeah.
defensive tackle was 300 plus pounds. Is he reminding you of any guys that maybe you've seen in terms of his ability and his strength down in the trenches?
Yeah, the guys we had at Southern Miss were not built like him. They were smaller guys, kind of, third down kind of guys, probably in the NFL, even though some of them have played some. Kerryon Johnson, maybe similar. Kerryon Johnson at Auburn, we had broke tackles. He did a great job of running through contact like Omarion does, but they're still different. Kerryon leaner and built different, but you know, on that particular run, it's so impressive because they actually pressured us from the boundary and we didn't handle it great. And he made a guy miss, broke a tackle, and went and scored. And you know, for him, I think his improvement with his vision has been huge. How we try to run the ball and our angles and where we're trying to attack the line of scrimmage. He does a really good job now, I think, of using his eyes most of the time. And the one thing I want to say about British and Omari in pass pro, when you go watch the tape, those guys did a great job stepping in there and protecting when they were bringing pressures, because early on they brought us 2 or 3 pressures we had not seen before, which was expected. You always know there's going to be 1 or 2 you hadn't seen, and you just got to trust your rules. And I think they're both more and more confident. And when you have big backs that can protect and run downhill, I think it makes you better on offense.
Is he the strongest running back you've been around?
We had Cameron Petway at Auburn. It's very similar, big, thick, strong guy. Kid we had at UCF last year. Yeah, he may be. I mean, he's got maybe a different combination in size than I've had before. But the sky's the limit for him. He's only going to get better.
The 3 drops there, I guess it was 4 drops that Nate had last week. Everybody's going to have a bad game. Did that affect his confidence some? Because he wasn't really too much in the mix, even though he played a lot of snaps the other night.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. He had a great week of practice. I didn't sense that at all. Sometimes the way the plays are designed, we were in 12, probably in 13 more than we were the week before. So some of that had to do with personnel grouping and so forth. So I didn't see any effect on him. Nate's a really good player, and hopefully get him back because he does a great job for us.
Chip, when you deal with penalties, Matt said something to the effect of whether they were penalties or not, we got to live with it, we got to stop them. How do you address it, like with a guy like Diego? It did not appear to be a hold, they called a hold. How do you address that as a coaching staff?
Yeah, I think you try to watch the film and you try to say why the guy called the holding. I think sometimes holding gets called because it looks like it was holding. I think that's human nature for guys, and they see either the last part of it or it flashes. And I think you just try to coach our guys on being in a better position with their body so they're not reaching and extending some. I think that's usually when the holding calls come, is when guys reach out and don't let them go. So that was a tough look. They brought the corner. We had a tight end over him. Sometimes that creates a blind spot for those tackles when you have a tight end attached who's chipping out and releasing. So I think we got to do a better job of giving him that look so it doesn't shock him. And he reacted, but he reacted a little late, and he got us for a hold, and got to live with that.
I mean, what's his mindset coming off? I mean, it's all, cameras are on him, everybody's looking at him. I mean, what do you say to him in that moment?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him what his mindset, because I'm upstairs, and sometimes I think, we try to tell our guys, you control the controllables. You can't control what happens, what a referee calls, what somebody sees, the play call, or, do your job, what you're asked to do. And I think Diego would stand here and tell you that he needs to do a better job. But at the end of the day, we got to make sure he gets enough looks of those pressures. That's on me to do that. And then also, like I said, I really believe our guys buy into, let's control the things we can control. No outside effects, just do our job every snap. And that's what we're focused on doing.
Chip, we were talking to Drake the other night at Georgia Tech, and he made the comment, I think some of us as players have to do a better job of telling the coaches what we want. And I think he was talking about play selection. Well, I know he was talking about play selection. He was saying that
for sure. You know, I ask him all the time, what do you like, what do you don't like, what do we need to throw out, what do we not need to throw out, you know, and I don't know what, you know, what the line of questioning was for him to say that, but, you know, definitely he's a huge part of what we're doing, and if he's not comfortable doing it, I don't want to call it for sure. It's, you know, I think part of designing an offense is do what your guys are capable of doing and what they feel comfortable doing. And, you know, and there's a lot of things that we think looks good on film that we don't carry because he doesn't like the you know, whatever it is. Maybe it's the protection, maybe it's the concept or whatever. And that's human nature for the guys, because there's a lot of really good plays out there, if you know, but you can't carry them all. And I want to carry the ones that he's most comfortable with.
But just to clarify, I think he may have been talking about the defense, but he sort of got there with an answer.
Oh, okay, yeah, good.
Mac, Chip asked you right away about the fourth quarter offense, and Mac has mentioned a few times, even after some of the victories, when you guys had to settle for field goals every once in a while and didn't score touchdowns. He attributed some of it to the Foreman offense kind of pulling back a little bit. What is in your when you look at the offense and examine things, what's maybe been the issue in the fourth quarter with not crossing the goal line more frequently?
Yeah, see, I think some of it we've had a lead, and you know we're trying to get the game over with. I think some of it though is execution. The other night we had to turn over on a it was unfortunate when Tez got hit, and that was a tough blow there. I think we were in great shape, you know, driving the ball there, and then if I think back, maybe Virginia, we weren't. You know, that was one of those nights we weren't on all the way around, dropping balls and missing throws and so forth, and so that's part of football. I mean, we just got to try to be the most efficient we can each time we get the ball, because believe it or not, we're trying to score a touchdown every time we get it. You know, I know some people may not believe that, but we are. And you know, but things happen. They got good coaches. They got scholarship players just like we do. So I think that's an emphasis for us, though. We want to move forward. We want to be better finishing games, no matter what the scenario is. If we're up, we want to finish the game, even if our young guys are in. You know, we had the couple of drives at home here before Virginia. I can't remember who we played, where we got our second group in, and we, you know, that was 2 of our third down misses. That group needs to play, and they need to go in and execute. I think we had a drop. I think we had a missed throw, misread on the zone read. So, you know, those guys need the reps too. And then when we're trying to win the football game at the end with our first group, you know, we need to do a better job of helping out and finishing, because this thing's a family, and we got to win the game. Whatever it takes to win the game, that's got to be our attitude.
If I can go back to Amari real quickly, we talked to you back in August about, and you'd said you'd watched the film, that one of the things he needed to do is be more decisive, hit goals quicker. It appears that he's getting better each week at that. He's more decisive, hitting the hole quicker, and by the time guys are making contact with him, he's already in the second level. Yeah,
I think that's a testament to the O-line up front. They're covering people up, and you know, I think Amarian is you know, using his eyes has been a huge key for him, getting better at that. And sometimes it's not real; it's sort of cloudy. You know, you got to quote run through the smoke, so to speak. I think he trusts that and does that. He understands too the defense we're playing. I think that's a huge part of it. Are they an even front? Where will these linebackers fit this week based on, you know, what we're showing them during practice? I think that's a huge part as well. And I just think his growth of understanding the game, football IQ is improved. And that happens as guys mature and get older. And I think he's making steps in the right direction. Hopefully he will continue.
Just real quick.
Yep.
Is on the offensive line, is Diego still just not like 100% healthy? Is that why?
Yeah, he's
more of Will Barnes there.
I don't think anybody is this time of year, but he's definitely had some things that have limited him in practice. And you know, Randy and big on, you know, guys that practice and guys that get the reps and so forth. But we understand too, we need him to play as well as Will. And I thought Will Barnes played his best game. I really did. I mean, he went in there and really, I thought he played very physical. I thought he didn't bust, and that was good to see.
Chip, one more with Doc. Like skill set wise, would you say he's closer to someone like Kobe, or is it closer to Nate, or is he a mixture of the two? Is he like a Josh Downs?
Yeah, I don't know about Josh, but I know that he's probably similar to Nate, I would say. Nate's just an older player that's seen a lot more, had a lot more reps, but probably similar to Nate in some respect. They're both very good in short areas. They're explosive and can make plays like one-on-ones, you know, in that respect with man coverage and so forth. But yeah, I think that's a fair comparison for sure.
Got time for one more. Unless we're good.
How about that? Awesome. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Chip.
Thanks, man.